different lives, hearts raw scarred. Judges grinning, deals in shadows locked. Caseworkers speaking truth they've mocked. Gunning on for justice, rage intense. Bringing kids home from this broken fence. Corruption weighs heavy, laws collapse. Kids go missing behind their maps. CPS stealing kids, no trace. Lies build walls, the truth they erase. Gunners howl, cuts through the air. He won't stop midnight, he'll get there. Dark hallways where the guilty play. Secrets hiding, hope fades away. A man with fire, voice like a storm. Breaking chains, reform, transform. Gunning on for justice, rage intense. Bringing kids home from this broken fence. Corruption weighs heavy, laws collapse. Kids go missing behind their maps. Family shattered, cries dulled by fights. CPS takes them in the dead of night. But Gunner speaks of brighter days, cut through the lies, light ablaze. Shattered cries dulled by fights. CPS takes them in the dead of night. But Gunner speaks of brighter days, cut through the lies, light ablaze.
Well, hello. Who are we going to piss off today with some knowledge and truth and some education in the Constitution of the United States? That's right. We're here to share it with you guys. I know a lot of you guys have been talking about the case and everything else, and I'm killing a little bit of time and stuff like that, but I need to go through some legal disclaimers, especially in this show. Yes, if you have a live case, a case in family court right now, you need to be watching this show now. As of now, we're going to have a little time. Go share this. If you know somebody that has an active case right now, get them on this show, on the YouTube show, Gunning for CPS. We have a huge announcement that will affect everything, and this is going to blow your mind. Yes. So we have to go through this step by step. The reason we go step by step is so you understand. It's explained to you. We're not going to make long of this show like some of the others. This is going to be to the point. We have to explain it. First, any legal particular thing. If you are involved in another case, please make sure. We encourage you, if you want to do that, that's fine with another group. Tandem Downing, I think, what was the other one that we had out there? Dave Weigel, a couple of the other groups are out there, a couple of, families, all these are great with that. If you have a contract with them, please be aware that if you have a contract with some of these organizations, and I'm not sure if they do, make sure that you are abiding by your legal obligations under the authority of contract law. Okay, this is why this is important. You can't get involved with some things. If you're under a contract with somebody else, you cannot go somewhere else and seek the same thing. So let's make this clear. Okay, so everybody knows. And yes, this is going to be replayed. And trust me, this one will get everybody's attention, because guess what? We are getting ready with this particular move tonight to put CPS literally on the chessboard and look at them and go check. And knowing our next move is going to be checkmate. This is how big this show is. Take a little time here. So if you have a contract with them, you need to settle that before you do the affidavits that we're talking about. That we're telling you guys to send in affidavits, and why you send in affidavits and what that means. And I don't think a lot of people understand what that means in a federal standing versus where you are with the state. And I wish Danielle would get in here real quick, because she is our IT team has and she's working on it. She says, sorry, she's been hard at work with our IT team. They have been developing a special bot, an AI bot specifically constructed not to have all the loopholes and everything else. It's something they've worked on, and when you use this, you use it at your own risk through it. But let me tell you something, it is a great item to do, and this is why all it's doing is helping you. You go in, you tell it your story, everything that happened to you, every little thing that happened to you, chronological as you go. Tell me, add to it as you do. Remember the details, go through it as much as you can, and this bot will take out of your story and find all the constitutional rights violations with case law to it, which is what it's programmed to do to support your affidavit. This is just a tool. Once again, you can use your own method. This is something we're providing to others that are having trouble. So what you put into this bot and what you get out of it is completely 100% your responsibility. We have no legal tie to any of that. You use it, it's free. It's something that, once again, this show is free. Everything we are doing, every part of our team is volunteer. There is no cash done. This is money out of our pockets. We're paying for streaming shows and this and that and those other things that are out there, or we've had the stuff and we're using it for that particular thing. But this is a nonprofit. We're not saying, hey, give me some money, or do this or do that. And one thing that we're going to claim is we have the power to help you in this particular case. Like I said, and so what we're going to talk about, and I don't even see Chris in here tonight. So guys, we're working on, the guys are trying to stop this, and they're trying to stop this from getting out. And so I'm going to bring out, of course, my beautiful wife, Sharon, that is also involved with me in the case. This is not just me. This is both of us. Our family was attacked, destroyed, and separated. by lies, manipulation, forgery, perjury. I mean, it goes on and on and on, and every bit of it there was nothing legal or constitutional about any of this. The problem is they didn't realize they were messing with two people that were raised by veteran families that knew what the Constitution was. There's your biggest mistake. You ran into one that come through. Why? Active serving. And then my grandfather, once again, as some of you I've said on other shows, was in World War II, went in early before his birth certificate. And he seen the things that happened, and he was in all those skirmishes. So that's who did most of my raising. And he's seen what happened and what Hitler did and all those other things that he says, now listen to me. Make sure, because they're doing this thing called Project Paperclip, which is bringing people over from Germany, okay, for intelligence. This is a real thing. For science and everything else. The problem is they got involved in our societies, and so did many other things. But they are looking to implement some of the same ideologies of socialism within our things, and they're doing this with CPS, literally. And Sharon, listen, the reason we split our show is because I'm going to do the case side, and you guys need to hear me. Yes, the kids are coming back, and we're going to explain to you why if you have an open case. And please hang on. Danielle's just a little behind here. But Sharon, the most that we focus on our show, the other part of our show is about mental health and healing. Now, once this thing triggers that we're going to give you tonight, it is going to change everything. Everything, the whole game. This is when I say we're putting them in check. I'm talking about we're getting ready to jam up their courts and shut them down. Why? Legally, under the power of the federal court system. And and I believe Danielle's popped in. Sharon's going to focus in, and she's got a new platform, and she's on TikTok. She's working on other platforms, but we're going to focus on healing. And the thing is the Constitution says we don't need to be policed. If we're supposed to be able to govern ourselves without being everybody looking over our shoulder. That's what the Constitution says. But the issue is the public schools have destroyed us. Yes, I'm calling out the public schools. Why? You failed to educate our children. And if you're saying I'm practicing law without a license, no, I am practicing the Constitution in our courts, which every citizen and every person out there should know how to work and operate in. But they took that from you. They took that from our children to where they cannot read the original documents, such as the Constitution in its original form, so they can change and manipulate it. This was an attempt to overthrow our government. That's what you're seeing out there with Trump and RFK, this and that. Listen, we're the whistleblowers that gave them the stuff on CPS to the FBI for all 50 states. We know what we're talking about. We're a sense of authority on this. But when it comes to healing, Sharon, what's your TikTok page? So we can get on the healing part. We're getting amped up on this here.
Currently, it's under Sharose, SHAROSE 27. But I am working on getting all of it revamped, and I'll probably be moving to a different page. But you guys will have to bear with me because I am technologically challenged.
We're working on it. Once again, we're separated because of this here. That's why some of those resources she's not able to tap. That, like I said, thanks. So once again, she's focused on other things.
But I am on TikTok. You're welcome to reach out.
Yeah.
I have a few videos up. I'm working on more. It's just I had to get into a place where I could do it. So.
And here's the thing with what she's talking about. Yes, she has a degree in psychology and early childhood development. Yes, and experience with it. And she has raised children, including one that is a special needs child. Listen, and possibly two. We're pushing for the two because of what we've seen. Possibly you guys have got to understand something, possibly three. But we don't know till they get older and they develop. And that's one thing that the courts are using against you. That these are undiagnosed kids. And a lot of this we've come to find out is from our food system, which RFK has tied together, which now they're going after Big Pharma. Listen, guys, we are working with them. We're working in conjunction. But it's not just our elected and appointed officials to do something. It's for we, the people, to speak up. And when I'm talking about this and I'm talking about healing, I'm saying all the things that we weren't taught, such as, and what are some of the things we've covered? What are the two biggest ones? Sharon?
We definitely cover boundaries. That's huge. And circles of trust is another big one that we cover. And there's a few more things I'd like to introduce sometime down the road, but we just haven't quite gotten there yet.
And guys, remember, you're broken, your kid's broken, you've been apart. What happens when this happens is what we're focusing on. You need to get your head in the right space. You need to get on your healing path. You need to get back to help heal your relationship with your children and everything else. This is our focus for this. Okay.
Sure.
Now, I believe, let's see. Yes, we have Miss Danielle back here. I believe we're going to see the ceiling fan or nothing at all. Let's go with the prediction. Squirrel moment. Nope, guess not. There she is.
Hey.
So Danielle, let's explain to the people about this AI bot that does their sworn affidavit and how it works, and walk them through this. You've got control of screen share, everything else. I can put the link in the for the bot in the message. And this is what you guys use for it. But listen here, let me explain something with this too. Also,
don't tell them not to try to manipulate it or anything, because it will be closely monitored.
Yeah. So here's the thing. This also preps you for your own federal case, because it tells you what it's done and violated. So now if you'd like, you can move forward with your own pro se case, that now you have the information to move forward if you wish, because what you put into it is what it gets out of it. We're not responsible for that. All disclaimers are here on the air. It goes from there. But Danielle, you've got the stage. Tell us about the AI bot, and then we're going to give you the big surprise and even more breaking news.
All right, so it is a chat bot, y'all. I was telling on my show and Brenda's show. You get this link, you can go into this chat bot, and it will, you just ask it questions, and you can do, I don't know who it's trying to come on the screen. Stream. Anyhow, so what I'm going to do is we're going to send this link out to everybody. Now, when you get on here, it's going to have a Word doc. Hey, Tammy. Hello, everybody. Y'all, it's drafted, and it's going to have the fillable affidavit on there itself. What are we doing? What's that noise? Whoa. Was that me? Okay.
I got it.
Sorry. Look, it's okay. All right, everybody. So look, I've talked to a lot of y'all about this. It's called Affidavit for Constitutional Rights Violations. It's pretty much, it's going to fill in, it's a fillable form. Okay. And what you're going to do is you're going to go in, it's like a chat bot. It's like, just like Chat GPT, but it's set up only for constitutional right violations in your case. So all you got to do is really put your story, take your story and put it in that chat bot. Okay. And you can ask it questions. There's some starter questions on there I put for y'all, but it also has the option to where you can download the template in a Word doc or a PDF. But you will have the opportunity. Yes, it's like Chat GPT. Yes. And it is set up to where you can fill in the document on the chatbot, okay? And then from there, you can take it, and it will break. Now, first, you want to go in. Hold on. Yes. And yeah, right. Obsidian. Is that Obsidian here? I think. Always be sure to look over any documentation and make sure it doesn't have made any errors like converting you into. Right. Well, I've looked. I've been working on this for over 24 hours. I believe it's because I know mine was. Anyhow, all I'm gonna ask, put your story in first, okay? But because let it tell you your constitutional right violations, because that's what it's gonna want to do first, and then it's gonna be triggered. The way I have it set up is the where after you do your story, That's going to trigger it to tell you the constitutional right violations. And I'm telling you right now, it will surprise you on what it breaks it down. I don't understand what is who and what is okay. Always remember to research what the chatbot involves because the judges catch. Right, but this is this Obsidian, this chatbot is not you. Like we created the documents ourselves. Like these are not from the chat. We're only using the chatbot to organize it for everyone. You get what I mean? It's kind of like a it's helping them fill it in, the template. You get what I'm saying? And it's also helping them find the violations. It is it's down to a T. Like I totally get what you're saying, but this is definitely yes. But thank you for making me aware of that. Thank you. You will see in a minute, Sam. Just give me 1 second, okay, y'all. Look, y'all bear with me. Some of y'all have not been on the shows with me or Brenda or Gunner. We've been explaining. We've been talking about this. This is a link. Yeah. This is something that I took the time out and created. Me and Gunner and Sharon and everyone, we talked about it, and I believe that it would be easier. Exactly, Sabrina. It makes it so much easier instead of going out there on a wild goose chase looking for this template, and then all y'all come with a different template. You know what I'm saying? So I took it upon myself, and I talked to Gunner and everyone about it, and I got the go, and I fact checked everything. I put the coding, the programming and everything in it, so it's built the way I built it. It's so yeah, and this also helps with ones with ADA. Yes. So this is more or less a tool for everyone to use, not to manipulate or anything. Don't think that that's going to happen. And if anybody out there wants to try to do that, please don't. It's not going to be good. So because it is there. Because there's going to be manipulators and people that are going to try to take advantage of it. But we did this to help you with the fill-in and to get it organized and drafted like it should be, right? So that's mainly what it's for. It's not for anything like really it is the easy way, but it's to make it work smarter, not harder, you know? So it took time, and it's very simple, y'all. All it is like I said, put your story in it, and it will be triggered. It'll tell you your federal constitutional rights violations that pertain to your case. Now we are gonna have this one is for this is just the one, and then we got the ones for the trafficking and if your child crossed state lines, okay, and that will be another link. What is? Yeah, there it is, y'all. That's the chat. It's called Affidavit for Constitutional Rights. And I wonder if I can share my screen. So when you open it up, anybody with that link, you should be able to make sure everybody can click on it if y'all got it. And when you open it up, it should open up to
there's everybody.
It says it'll have like 4 questions. Like, hey, I'm Danielle. I just threw some stuff in there, y'all. Just
guys, hold on. We're gonna come here. We have Sharon. We have Danielle. This is Brenda, as you know from Bring Back Brenda. This is one of our new recruits down here for the new show that's coming out of Chicago. That's right. She's got tons of information, a great advocate, tons of information, does great research, and she has a lot of evidence on what's going on, especially in Chicago, Illinois. Let me also take this moment here before we go any further. Yes, I am a independent journalist. I am listed with the IFPO, which is international, and this show is broadcast internationally. We are reaching Dublin. We are reaching Scotland. We are reaching all over the world. This is getting over because they are watching what America is doing to tear down this system, looking for us to lead the way because they can't stop it. And this is why, because this is cultural genocide, people. This is meant to overtake and overthrow our Constitution and enslave us. Now, we're going to give a special show because I'm going to give Danielle and say, if you want to watch more of that thing for that bot, Danielle, I believe, has, well, I guess she can be voluntold in a way, kind of. She's going to do a special right after our show and show you everything about this chat bot.
Yes.
So hold on. So now,
Yes, I
as
can
we
send
take
it
this
to you,
show
Louise.
along,
Mhm.
what you're waiting for. All right, I'm going to explain something. With the power of a federal case, you have several things, and it doesn't. This is what your lawyer has, or anything else, or even you as pro se sui juris. This is the power you have. You have the power of what? A federal subpoena, right? You have the right to collect affidavits, right?
Right.
So if you collect an affidavit, you are now actively involved in a federal case and your state cannot interfere. Why? Oh, here we go. And when you do your affidavit, I believe there's a check on there that if you have an active case, right? That's on that chat bot too. So what that'll filter out. Let me explain something. Because you're now a federal witness, your state case freezes. Why? You have constitutional rights violations, and I've already gotten rebuttal on this. Hey, I don't want my case to freeze. I
Okay,
just want.
Debbie.
Listen
Sorry.
to me. What this means is they should have already done a change of jurisdiction. They've already lost it if you have constitutional rights. We're correcting that or helping you by filing this, saying you're now a federal witness. And here's the thing: the Witness Protection Act, you can look it up, says that you cannot take and do that. Gives the Attorney General powers to help and aid in a federal case for WITSEC and everything else. And here's the thing: you're gonna love it. So if they get involved with you, CPS, the judge, the cops, and anything else, because you're becoming a federal witness against the entire state, they now lose all jurisdiction over you. That means you are a federally protected witness, and retaliation or continuing with your case or keeping your kids is a form of retaliation against a witness, victim, or informant, is a federal offense under 18 USC 1513. Congratulations, ladies and gentlemen. We now have a way to lock the court systems up in every single state across the nation in family court. You turn that in certified, it's marked as that. We are working on a letter that will inform the judge that you will give the judge, you will give CPS, everything else, calling them out the fact that they are in the act of committing an act of war against the Constitution. And that if unless they have a crime or substantiated evidence, in other words, hard physical evidence, you must return the children because you have violated when you didn't take, especially if you have Fourth Amendment violations, that it comes under fruit from a poisonous tree, and you should have dismissed this case in the first place. Then you can take what you have as that and correct and get all the stuff, then go and file your federal case of change of jurisdiction in federal court. I believe we'll do a show on that. Hopefully our fearless leader, the Punisher himself, will be back after Georgia, Camden County, Georgia. That's right. You heard all the thing. They knew about this case and they took and framed him and jacked him up because they called him by the Punisher, not by his name. And the body cam footage is going to come out. Let me tell you something. The corruption runs deep across this country. Not only across this country, Chris, I believe you have some information for us tonight that you have got a connection to the state of Illinois and finding out that this child trafficking ring has now gone international in our case. Uh-oh. Congratulations, every state of all 50 states. You are now in check by We the People. This has officially become the We the People case to shut down CPS. We are not playing. It's game over. The next move is going into the court and prove it. But before that happens, we'll make enough stink. It'll get the president himself's attention. What's going on? DOJ, FBI, Patel, hey, we got, no, that's screaming. Why? Because every case is shut down. Your courthouses are shut down with this case because you become a federal witness. Now, Chris, take us international and bring it, bust the doors off it, girl. Can't hear you. Can't hear you. Your mic. No, you're on. Danielle's muted. It's on your side.
Hello?
Hold on.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Yeah. Almost.
I'm talking.
Oh, you're talking? I can't hear Chris. I can't hear your mic. Your mic's not picking up.
Danielle,
Okay,
what about you?
can't hear you.
All we hear is
I hear something really staticky. And
Yeah,
is there
You're
music
really
playing?
staticky and scratchy with your mic. I don't know. Your mic's jacking
It's,
up. And listen,
Big
maybe
Brother
this is
tour
something. Let
guide.
me tell you something. Maybe this is how they play with us because she had international news that she's going to break. No. Still getting the
Yeah.
noise. Damn it. Chris, we can go on a little
Chris,
bit if you want
can
to take
you-
a few minutes to work
Chris,
on it.
drop out and come back in because it's something to do with. It's
Yeah, it's your
your.
log.
Yeah,
Start logging out and signing back in through the link.
That's
Maybe
weird.
that'll help. Now,
Yeah.
listen, guys, not only that, and when you say, well, my judge is going to take it through a fit or this is that, no, we're putting you where you're supposed to be. Let me tell you why. And this is going to blow your mind when they throw a fit. Well, I have jurisdiction. I do this. I do that. No. This is where we slap them right across the face with the Constitution. Remember during our show, Article 3, Section 2, Clause 2 of the Constitution says that the Supreme Court of the United States of America has original jurisdiction in cases in which, says what? The state shall be a party. If the state is on your paper above that, congratulations. The jurisdiction goes up and it can start there. So guess what, folks? Game over. Your kids, if you have an active thing, yes, you can file for them saying, unless I've committed a crime or something else, and that will be in there. You are being put on notice. We will put these judges on notice, CPS on notice with this thing that you go through there. And like I said, when that goes in, they're going to see it and they're going to look at it, and then it's going to pose them some questions. Did you double check about the constitutionality about what they took in this? Because this person's claiming there's constitutional rights violation and you're continuing with the case. If not, it's your first time hearing this. Guess what? Now you have to lose jurisdiction. You're put on federal notice, and it's in a federal case that this is exactly what they've been doing. This is exactly what they've been doing. They knew there was constitutional rights violations, and they went on. You have broken your oath. We are going to call them out that they have committed war against the Constitution, which is what it says. This is what Trump was talking about. This is what Trump was talking about. Chris is under, like I said, man, she's got some hot information, but yes, she does have information on the international trafficking ring. She's restarting everything. I've already seen the information. Guys, she's got the connection where it shows everything, guys. Who's doing it, the names of the companies, the entire thing. When we say CPS is done and going down, we are not playing. Can any other movement, anything else, provide you protection with your sworn affidavit and with an active case? No. Can we? Yes, because the power of the federal courts demands it. And here's the thing, with that, they will be notified. The person that has turned this into you or to your court or has served you with this, with our case number, that if you do, they have been instructed to contact the Department of Justice and the FBI and have you arrested for federal witness tampering and intimidation. That includes the judges and the magistrates. Congratulations, America. Check by we the people. Next one is checkmate. You wanted to play checkers? We're playing chess, 4-dimensional, and you're done. This is what makes the statement across the United States to all the courts. We are done. We the people will not stand for this anymore. Give us back our kids. If there's a criminal case, that's something different you have to do. This is a civil type thing. But if it started and your criminal case started with a CPS investigation, okay, a CPS investigation, and they came in with no court order warrant, that's where the investigation started. That means even your criminal case must be thrown out according to constitutional law. You hear me? Get those affidavits in. Turn those in. Those are now evidence. You can use that to write your own federal case. Chris, we good now? Talk.
I don't know. Can you hear me?
Yay! All right, guys, here we go. International child trafficking
I don't-
ring exposed.
Okay, I don't even know how to start with this and this is kind of like touchy because it goes into my case as well. So I have to like tread lightly with how I say it, I guess, per se.
So we have to handle.
But basically, so the county next to mine, DuPage County, which is also, so the kids that the DCFS investigator supervisor that threatened the hospital when they took my newborn, he is the supervisor of DuPage County. DuPage County, and this is all hidden. Of course, you can't find it anywhere. I found it and found what happened. This just happened between 2019 and 2021. What they did, basically the same thing that they did to me. So, but of course, nothing happened except for the kids got,
Call out the companies, girl. Put their name and put them on blast and put them on notice. Who's in charge?
okay.
Full exposure. Put it out there.
So
The Casas, give it to them. Both barrels.
let me get some.
She's so excited she can't see straight. She's a little. Listen, everybody breathe. Listen, we're gonna listen. Come on, Sharon, get in here with me. Everybody, take a deep breath. Yes,
Deep
that's a lot
breath.
to take in, and what we're getting forward. This is for the children.
My mom just read it. I'll be honest. My mom's even like, "What the hell? Like, what's going on?" Okay.
You got it, girl. Take a deep
Everybody thought I was
breath.
crazy. Everybody thought I was crazy. I was not crazy. I knew that shit was going on.
Listen, it's a lot.
You're not
Listen,
crazy.
a lot of that onion is being peeled. The mask is coming off. The layers of onion are being peeled. This is just going. We're peeling it and we're going, oh my God, it's that bad. And then we keep going, go, oh God, it's even worse. And it's not just us losing kids here and shipping them other places. They're importing them.
Yeah.
So
Remember
okay.
that.
So it lists the certain individuals that were the primary individual perpetrators, but we don't need to say those directly. But let's see, key judicial and administrative figures. And then this is the three judges, and then the key agencies and organizations. So this is going to go for every county, okay? This is saying DuPage County. Now, when it comes to me, it's going to be a Kane County because I'm in Kane County. So in this particular case, it said DuPage County Department of Children and Family Services, okay? There is no DuPage County Department of Children and Family Services. It's just Department of Children and Family Services. So I don't know why.
And guys, so let me explain something. And this is the legal aspect of this. Not every state is a state employee when it comes to CPS. Sometimes they subcontract to other companies, and what that does is that gives them, as far as business wise or legal wise, a layer of separation saying the state didn't do this. It was one of our actors or somebody we employed. So answering that also for Debbie, Chris also deals with that in Illinois. They are subcontractors, and yes, it affects them. But the point of this case is not just them. They were just the actors is what we're saying. We're saying the state gave away your rights to CPS and your law enforcement was given an order to stand down or not to interfere. It wasn't until recently Texas changed that law, but that doesn't change the fact that it's already happened. And that system needs to come down and apart and everybody held accountable in Texas. So nice try. We know what you're doing. You're trying to save your program and saying, yes, we need to make change. Listen, no, it has to be gutted, not change it, abolish it. And this is why it's unconstitutional.
And I will say one thing about Florida. Florida is actually like the agency that I had. I know they operate in Florida. They're very tied with a lot of the same. One of them that's in this case, though, however, is throughout America. I mean, everybody, it's probably in every single state of anybody here. So one of them is Midwest Family Evaluation Institute. Then they have Bright Futures Adoption Agency. Does anybody know, has anybody heard of Bright Futures Adoption Agency?
Yeah.
Look it up.
It's not Bright Star, it's Bright Future.
They go by
They all have
the
something.
same.
Listen, how they played the legal game is it's the same company. They're just under one umbrella. So you got to look at the paperwork, the legal part,
You have to go
business
through it all.
structure.
Yeah,
You guys don't.
I guarantee you
I
it's,
know as a business owner, you got to look at business structure.
Well,
Yeah.
it's probably the
So
same.
here's another
Chris
one.
ever heard of Nevermore?
New Day Family Services, okay? Hope and Healing Counseling Center, Child and Family Connections, DuPage County Court Appointed Special Advocates, which is what? CASA. Sacred Family Services, which there's a lot of those. It's just under a big umbrella. Like I said, this is what the DuPage County case held. Mine may fall under a different one. Family First Coalition. Now that I have to figure that out, Gunnar, and you understand why I'm saying that.
Yeah.
So oversight and investigative entities, and these are the ones that really didn't. So they didn't do anything basically. The Illinois Department of Professional Regulation, DuPage County State's Attorney's Office, the Illinois Judicial Inquiry Board, and the Illinois DCFS Inspector General, the Illinois Legislative Audit Commission, whistleblower advocates. But now let's see, where does it, I have to go into the story and see where they go into the different, this is the different countries that these kids, and when I tell you that this is so bad that there was only, I don't think any of the kids returned home even after this was brought about.
Well, we're going to work on that the next step to make sure all these kids come home. What you're talking about right there, Chris, that you exposed is those 300,000 kids that are missing. That's where they went overseas.
So this kind of breaks down a little bit. The court appointed special advocates corruption. Okay. The court appointed special advocates program designed to provide independent representation for children's interests became compromised within the system. Investigation revealed that in DuPage County, CASA volunteers received training from the same fraudulent providers later exposed in the scandal.
Remember what we talked about them about to do coercion entry? That's the same program she's talking about that they're receiving that is going on nationwide. You see how the pieces are fitting now? Go on, Chris, give us rest.
Were recruited primarily from social circles connected to judges and service providers. Mm-hmm. Frequently had undisclosed relationships with foster parents seeking to adopt their assigned children. Now, I will say, in my case, that happened. I caught the ex parte communication, and I have evidence of it.
Now, just so we go to this, Andrew, everybody's asking, is this effective now? When does this kick in? We get this protection. Get your affidavit to the email. We review it. We give you the paper, and it's got your name on it. We're all working together, this whole team. We're going to share some of this, looking through, making sure what it is. I know Danielle's going to be in charge of that. That's her pet project over there, her baby. She's going to run with it. So keep this in mind. We will go through it. As soon as we see they're good, I'm working on the letter now. We're going to go through our constitutional contacts and everything to make sure it's solid, it's constitutionally sound, because anything else, it doesn't matter with the law. So long as it's constitutionally sound, that's it. That's all we have to measure. That's the only measure anything should ever go against. That's why we're bringing it back to the Constitution, because the argument is it constitutionally sound? Absolutely right, what we're going to do. Go ahead, Chris. Sorry, I need to put that info in there.
No, I just wanted to say something. So something that also came about in this case is the judicial election influence. So if you follow the money, like I've been saying, I think it's transparencyusa.org, if I'm not mistaken. You can actually see who funds, your judges.
Let's put it this way, which law firm? Which law firm sponsors them? Which law firm does this and that? The biggest contributor of most of them?
So here's
law firms, lawyers, other lawyers.
Here's what they found. It says the judicial election system in Illinois created additional corrupting influences. Judges handling family court cases in DuPage County typically raised $150,000 to $300,000 for their election campaigns. Analysis of campaign contributions revealed service providers and their family members contributed an average of $25,000 to $5,000 to judicial campaigns. Attorneys regularly appearing in family court contributed approximately $380,000 collectively, which is between 2016 and 2020. The nonprofit organizations contracting with DCFS. Now, remember, I'm going to tell everybody something. In Illinois, DCFS only handles 20% of the cases. The rest are handled by POS, otherwise known as purchase of service contracting agencies. So they're contracted out of DCFS,
Subcontractors.
which,
Third party.
and
Yep.
that's how they keep it so under the table and nobody gets to blame for it because
Yes. And Debbie in here, let me address this real
follow the
quick.
money then.
When you do this stuff here too with that chat bot, yes, it has to be signed in front of the notary and stamped with a notary to be a legal document. Okay. Now you're understanding all this. And I want to tie some of this together. This is what Brenda's Chris was talking about, that they framed him for, that this is the corrupt system he wanted to expose because he ran for sheriff. He saw what was going on, and this is how they blackballed him and put
He's
him
in
in prison
Florida,
to
right?
do this. Yeah, he's in. Yeah.
I'm telling you, because the agency that's handling my case, and there are ties in with my case in particular. That's why
His whole case is corrupt.
Guys,
That's why they're fighting it. His case, we found a lot of shit in his
Yes,
case.
a lot.
A
Let
lot.
me make
in
something
Illinois are
legally.
connected a
Well, let
lot.
me make something legally clear for everybody on this show and our audience and anybody watches this. Everyone on this show right now is a federally protected witness. The state now no longer has any authority over you because you are whistleblowing on your state. Okay? Not just this. That means what? The state now has no jurisdiction. Local officials, state officials. No, I'm a federal witness. You cannot. If not, and you mess with me now, don't go breaking any laws. It's not a license to go out there and do something stupid.
Right.
Act responsible and accordingly and proper like a fucking American should, and hold your fucking head high. Because this is the time you should hold your head high. Why? The kids are coming home and we're done. Yes, you can demand your children if they're in there. Why? Because you have my children, that is a form of manipulation and intimidation when I don't have my kids. Congratulations, folks. The kids come home. Go ahead, girl.
Let me finish.
Yes, so we got that legal
this
out.
is last paragraph. So the DuPage County scandal, which you cannot find published anywhere, just an FYI.
No.
It connects to a broader international network of concerning adoption practices. Investigation revealed that several of the private adoption agencies working with the fraudulent service providers were simultaneously involved in international adoption programs that have faced ethical scrutiny. Hold on. It gets worse.
They were about to adopt my son out internationally.
Hold on. Between 2015 and 2020, 3 DuPage County connected adoption agencies facilitated approximately 120 international adoptions, primarily from Eastern Europe, Africa, and Central America. These international programs operated under significantly less oversight than domestic adoptions, creating opportunities for concerning practices to flourish across borders. Financial records showed that these agencies charged American adoptive families $30,000 to $45,000 for international adoptions, while reporting payments of only $5,000 to $8,000. So where was the rest of the money going? The substantial difference, often exceeding $30,000 per child, was classified as administrative fees, with minimal transparency regarding actual expenditures. More troubling were the documented connections between domestic and international adoption operations. In at least 14 identified cases, families who sought to adopt domestically but were deemed unsuitable during home studies were subsequently directed to the same agencies' international programs, where approval standards were notably less rigorous. This pattern suggests a two-tier system where families rejected from domestic adoption could still obtain children through international channels with fewer safeguards. So now, does everybody understand what I just said? So basically, because the United States is not as easy as some of these other countries when it comes to adopting kids out, they do have somewhat of standards compared to these other, which I thought that they were pretty easy, I'm not gonna lie. But apparently they're not as easy as some of these other countries. So this is mind-blowing for me too. But email communications between agency directors and international facilitators contained concerning language about finding children to meet specific client requests. Language suggesting that children were being identified to match adoptive parent preferences rather than finding families for children generally in need of placement. Now that is just showing they are stealing these kids for a reason, selling them cash for kids all over it. That's what they're doing. Yes, there's trafficking. Yes, and for whatever reason that they want the kids that look a certain way, maybe it's for a certain type of trafficking. I don't know, but it says it right there. This shows they're targeting. They're going off of what they want. So the foster to adopt pipeline engineering. This is how this comes into play. In DuPage County, revealed systemic manipulation of child welfare processes to facilitate adoptions. Analysis of case patterns showed several concerning practices. The strategic placement tactic. Children were routinely placed with foster families already seeking to adopt, creating attachment bonds that would later be cited as reason for termination of biological parents' rights. Now, doesn't that sound familiar? That happens all too well. They try to do that. They did that with a lot of people. I mean, how many people have heard them say, like, well, they lived with them for most of their life, so they're more bonded to them. I think that it's best for them just to stay with them, especially when it comes to newborns or young kids like mine. The visitation interference pattern. Foster parents seeking to adopt frequently reported distress behaviors. Now I can tell you my stepdaughters, this is exactly what happened. Following biological parent visitation. These reports were rarely verified independently, but were documented by service providers that later used as evidence to contact with biological parents was harmful to the child. And so you know what they do? They end all contact, even when it's a guardianship case. So they could not terminate with my stepdaughters. They couldn't. But it was guardianship, but they have ended all contact. We have not been able to talk to them in over a year. The documentation coaching. Foster parents received explicit coaching on documenting minor incidents or normal childhood behaviors in ways that pathologized the parent-child relationship. The training document instructed foster parents to note any emotional dysregulation following phone calls or visits, which how often does that happen? And document sleep disturbances that might be because of attachment confusion.
No.
Oh my God, please. Okay, hold on, the last one. The reunification sabotage. When children were placed with foster parents interested in adoption reunification services were measurably less robust. These families received 42% fewer supportive services for maintaining connections with biological families compared to placements with foster parents not seeking to adopt. And that's exactly, so one thing to look out for, I want to tell everybody this. When your case first comes on, if you're not working with, like in Illinois, DCFS doesn't handle the cases. One thing that should have caught my attention was Hope United, the part that I was dealing with, is considered a placement and adoption agency. So they're at least, they do intact, but they do not do, what's the word I'm looking for, Gunnar? They do not do reunification. They don't do reunification. They don't work with family for reunification. Family preservation, they do through intact. That's it. It's so you have to pay attention to that. Pay attention to what your caseworker signs next to her name. If she's a permanency specialist or if she's a caseworker.
Classification.
Right. There's a difference. Pay attention.
We've got a lot of questions. Listen, this is just for cases that are open for this affidavit. If your case is already closed or you've had your TPR or anything else, you can still go back and put it on your original record and go to the court clerk and give them a copy and serve it to them. You can also make the same thing. Now, listen, this is the other thing. Remember, we've been talking about a thing like a void ab initio. This is where you file that out and you serve that with what we have given you. Bam, case closed. I want my kids back. Bottom line. That's how that works. And I'm going to testify what you did. Those two things right there. And if they don't do that, yes, you can report that to the Department of Justice and or the FBI, because it is a federal matter, because you are saying a judge, a caseworker, a district attorney, or however it goes through, or somebody with CPS for the representative of the state, that them having your children influences your ability to give a true testimony. It's a pivot point. If you don't tell on us, we're going to keep your kids. That federal protection prevents that. You must give them back. So until this is done, but also you're putting on notice, within that letter, we are going to be filing a federal case on you for a change of jurisdiction. After that, that's up to you. You must follow up with that. Filing with us gets you so much protection, but to keep your kids and get your stuff out and make sure that they stay home, void ab initio, and go ahead and file that thing with the same stuff that we've given you, and ask the federal court if all these things have happened. If that's the case, and for example, if your case started with a constitutional rights violation, such as entering your home, you're going to want to know this term. It's called fruit from a poisonous tree, and we will describe that in there for the judge. You should have known this. You should have checked whether or not when they came in, and here's the issue. You did. You had the opportunity, because if you've got the CPS report in front of you, you just saw where the constitutional rights violation, not just in this case, but every case you have adjudicated, which will now come back to haunt you. Bam. Check. So when we say it's over, we don't want no money. This ain't against any other thing. This gets you where we want. This makes us, we the people, case that we can speak up, lock out their courts, because they have no authority. They can't. They legally cannot. The federal government will come in and they can cry states' rights, everything. This is a federal case on treason and sedition, people. This is no joke. This is where you get to be heard. And you know what it called? They said, well, why don't you do a class action suit? Why don't you this? Why? Too many people have to agree and everybody gets involved with this. You know who's running the show? This team right here that has one mission, end CPS. Bring our children back.
And bring
them.
kids
Leave us
home.
alone and hold them motherfuckers accountable all the way with treason. And if that means upon a military tribunal, yes, I said that because with acts of treason goes before a military tribunal, that it takes your life. Me, that's not for me to decide. But where the idea is you will be held accountable, and that will be decided by the American people. But this is how we expose them. We get the numbers. We have this. That's where your voice is heard. But now you get the federal protection of being a federal witness that no other case can give you. We the people. If it's closed, we're dealing with that. We're working on, hey, the Punisher comes back. Let me tell you something. It's going to be game on. He is fired up with what they did to him and tried to shut down this case. This ain't no joke. This is a conspiracy against our government meant to overthrow us. So when we make this voice and we jack up their courts, every governor's going to pay attention. Every judge is going to pay attention. Why? Because if they don't pick up that phone, they won't follow this, and you explain to them of this and that and how it's articulated. If they have my kids, that's influencing my decision, giving my kids back unless there's been a crime, and you're in civil court. You want to jack them up, it's going to empty them. They can't move, because now that means every caseworker, if you're involved in one case, you take out one caseworker, they can't work because they're accused of a federal crime. They can't work. Now they're laid off or they're on administrative leave. Why? Now CPS can't function because you're accused of a crime. They put you on administrative. So now what are you going to do? Now it's nothing but a cost to them. They're not making any money. Oh, check. Check with the Constitution. We told you it was coming back. Now, how we deal with this information, I know a lot of us are mad. I know a lot of us are upset. We know what we've been through, and there's a time and a place to do this, but this is not about violence. We can take this over with the courts and make our voices heard in the courts, as well as the administrative, the executive branch of government. We do this. I guarantee you they're going to want to know. And I know we're going viral on TikTok and Facebook and all this. Hey, who's this guy? This. We kept that for a reason so they wouldn't stop us. We kept quiet. We hid in the shadows. We made our enemy think we were weak while we were building strength. Welcome to Sun Tzu, The Art of War. You wanted war. You declared
Right.
war on the Constitution and the people. Guess what? We can play that game.
We brought the reckoning.
Because here's the thing we don't want to do is because we can, under the Constitution, from what the evidence we have a right to call out and do other things. But this is our first option, is to make sure it's done peacefully, it's done appropriately, and like I said, through the court systems, not a hoodaka or anything else. That's not what we're calling for. Do this the right way. Fight with your voice, fight with your courts. And here's the thing, when you do that, now the state has to prove what they accused you of, even in federal court, to get you knocked out, which will be the first thing they'll try to do, is disqualify all of you that have done this, to go through and go ahead and do the little sifting for us of some of you did file and they, there's something else with it. Yeah, they had this, they had that, and let alone, was it done to where you have copies of it? Is it signed by a judge in ink, not auto pen? Make sure you articulate, oh, I'm looking through my court documents. It's auto pen, it's not ink. That's not a legal thing. That's an illegal document. We've covered it on our shows. Go back. You want education? Go back and watch a bunch of our shows here on Gunning for CPS and or CPS Victims Hunting of Justice. If you're dealing with foster care issues, Danielle's got foster care as well as some other issue. Brenda's got, stuff that deals with how somebody that looked to uncover the system that has now been oppressed with her husband, Chris, which has now happened to Darren. Chris is over there and she's got a lot of people there to saying, hey, there's, this is going on. They don't know we've been sneaking around just being quiet, but guess what? It's time to unleash what every country feared. What was behind every blade of grass wasn't just a gun. It was a citizen that was intelligent. But here's the issue. You say I'm practicing law. No, this is the shit. Now Sharon's going to tell you, because we had that conversation. You should have taught all this shit in what? School.
Oh yeah.
Those federal top tax dollars. But you failed to educate your people, to enslave them. Department of Education, you have now just been called out for acts of treason and sedition against the American people. The system itself. If you're a teacher, you better start covering your butt and gathering the evidence. You caseworkers, we want the same thing. We know this is going down. This is no joke. If you want to get on, send in your affidavit. Mark it up in there, the third one in the thing when it goes in there for the email we give you. Gunning for CPS. That's, and we'll put it in, Danielle, put that in there for me. Gunning4CPS@yahoo.com. That's where you're going to send, I think, the affidavits there. If not the chat box, does that take and automatically develop them and put them on a program for us, or do they have to email them? Well, they're going to have to, because they got to print them and they got to certify them.
They got to print them, but it can do it to where it'll do it for them, but I haven't got that far yet.
So if you're a caseworker and you've got information, videos, paperwork, and they say you want to become one of our witnesses that flip, let me tell you something. You better protect your butt now, because we're only taking so much. And you're still going to have to answer for some stuff regardless. Go ahead, babe. Sharon?
Oh, no. Yeah. Go ahead, Sharon. Sorry. I was reading the comment because somebody wrote something. I don't know, Gunnar, if you want to.
Where's it at?
How about a judge signing a warrant who represented someone in the house as a lawyer? Will that disqualify a warrant?
What is what now?
There's a few. I look into them because sometimes I think the questions that people ask are important. I like when Brenda and Danielle do it.
That is correct. And Amy is right as far as your void ab initio. If you read down here in Amy's comments, and where's Amy's comment?
Well, and that's what Darren kept saying.
That's what listen, guys, right here. This action is non-negotiable. Non-negotiable. And we lost Sharon in and out. She's jumping in and out.
Yeah.
Non-negotiable. So you file a void ab initio and you turn it in with what we're giving you with this and that. You're done. You're notifying the court they're in violation of the Constitution to give me my kids back and drop this damn case. It's over. You want to follow up with it by filing your federal case for questions with a change of jurisdiction to close the hole. So there's no more questions about that. You're making your point. It's just called a follow-up. Okay. And I know Obsidian and the rest of it would be like, yeah, close that door. And I get it.
So if I may.
Go ahead.
That's fine.
I
just want to put out there that your anger and the feelings of frustration that everybody's feeling is completely valid. and it's absolutely okay to feel like that. I do think, however, that moving forward with all of this, we need to have some grace for the parents who have put themselves in the place of foster or adoptive parents for our children, because they were not given, in most instances, the whole truth.
Yeah. And
CPS
listen, we
works,
weren't told this.
CPS
We
works
weren't
as a
told the whole
middleman.
truth.
They don't give you all the information. They don't give the other people all the information.
Oh, listen,
So,
guys, the horror
moving,
stories we've heard, Sharon and I, from
oh yeah,
foster parents of what they were told about the parents. And then when we looked into it, that was nothing of the
yeah.
case. Oh my
So
God.
moving forward, I think that there needs to be an understanding, especially if your children are coming home from another person's household. You need to have patience. You need to have understanding that your children may have developed an attachment to these people. You need to
Yeah.
understand that, I mean,
Association.
hopefully, I mean, I pray that everyone's child is in a home that is loving them and taking good care of them. So there is that possibility that
Yeah.
they may
I mean,
be.
guys, no, now listen to, if there's been a case where you do have an actual case where there's been a criminal case, CPS removed them from drug addict parents or something like that, and a cycle, this and that. That's not what we're talking about, okay? We're talking about, regardless of the situation or anything, the Constitution was not followed.
Correct.
That's the bottom line. Regardless of how any other ruling or anything else as far as this goes, this will date back for the state of Tennessee. It goes all the way back to 2016 with the evidence. Other state, it's over 20 years old with some of the, I think somewhere around in there. Don't quote me on that, but we've shown you the evidence. It's that bad, and they've been doing this for a long, long, long time. And
Just remember, it's not a crime to want to love a child or adopt a child.
no.
Unfortunately, sometimes it's done in the wrong way, but those people on the other end don't always know that that's the case. So, I mean, we're all learning this as we go along because we're victims. They're on the other side, maybe not victims, but they haven't learned all of it yet. So, just
And
have
listen, if
patience
you've
with
got a good
yourself.
foster parent, let me put this in there too, because we've talked about this. Let me insert this. If this
Mhm.
does, like I said, when this goes down and you are a good foster parent, work with the parents on the reunification and help them build their why, because whether they like it or not, your child was possibly part of their lives, and they may want to continue that for the balance of the child. This is about the best interest of the child. And that
Correct.
person can then become part of your community. And then you can begin to share the real truths and everything, and then they can share. This is how this works, is what we're talking about. Keep that in mind. Okay. Go ahead.
Nobody's expecting it to be easy. Just
No.
nobody's expecting it to be
But, you
easy.
I think there's a few red flags with good foster parents and not ones that are in it for the right
Yeah.
reasons. I mean, for instance, not allowing communication or contact between the biological parents, not wanting to know anything about the biological parents or having any communication with biological parents, not letting them go to any doctor's appointments. There are red flags. The really religious ones, I'm sorry to say that's a red flag. But I will say, even on Illinois foster parent group, which I am part of because my mom is a licensed Illinois foster parent because she has my kids. Well, now she has all three except for my twin stepdaughters. But, and she did it for a reason, obviously, because to get her grandkids. But, so there are some that do this because they've been through it, so, but it's very slim to none. But I have seen on Illinois foster parent group today, a lot of them actually calling it out and saying it for what it is. And I screenshotted it, and I saw a lot of them coming up and saying, what is going on? Like, this is not
They
right.
are,
Like,
yes,
you guys,
people are waking up. People
Good.
are realizing
They're
the
the
truth
fuck
about CPS.
waking
And I've
Mhm.
even heard foster parents turn around and say, have I done something wrong by doing this and part of the system? That's not for me to decide. Once again, how this falls is how it falls. Either way, what was done unconstitutionally needs to be undone. That's the bottom line. That's all that matters, is the Constitution. And then going through of saying, how did this happen? Why did it happen? And to gut everything that's even close to that, and make sure that our elected appointed officials and actors make sure beyond a shadow of a doubt that the Constitution, that they know it so much, even to question. I don't care if you're given an order. You realize the military, that if you're given an unconstitutional order, or an illegal order, you are not obligated to follow it. And the Constitution backs that up. Anything outside this Constitution is what? Null and void. Void ab initio. It doesn't even have to be followed. But because they have the cops on their side and the state on their side and everything else, you have, yeah, they are militarized against us, is what it comes down to. Once again, officers of the law, if you've been given a stand down order, we already know that you have. That came from the state. You were following orders. It will only benefit you to come forward and say, yes, this is true. And with all the sheriffs and police departments across the U.S., you are more than welcome to add to this. And if you're a good sheriff or anything, and hears this and you share this with your sheriff, you make sure he sees this, that we know that's that. But he should have stood up. He still violated his oath when you didn't go arrest the person that issued that order. That's what you failed to protect us. That's what we elected you for. Shame on you. Shame on you. Shame on you, judges that took policy and procedure over the Constitution. You're a disgusting human being. A disgusting human being, which is exactly why Trump told you we were coming. Trump knew we were coming. We've already worked with the FBI. We told them our intentions. They counted on it. They saw the first amount of evidence. They know where we're going. Here's the second part. It's not him that's going to do it. It's going to be we, the people, that stand up and make our voices heard. This is how you do it. Shut down their courts. Get your affidavits in. We'll get that out to you as quick as possible. We're working on drafting it. So give us a little time. We are busy. So when you guys can't get a hold of us and you're hitting us with 1,000 questions, we're working on something. And it may take us a while to get back to you. And let's address some of this stuff too. Listen, this is my crew, and you ain't seen my other part of my crew that's a female. Oh, and she was one of the advocates and a really good friend of the family. Oh, don't you even fucking dare with old Ape. Ape will fucking tear you fucking apart. Let me tell you something. And she was involved in CPS where they took her kids when her husband died and gave them to the adopted or the stepmother and the grandparents. But the state of Tennessee didn't have the right. So they kidnapped her children until a judge finally straightened it out and says, get those 3 kids home. That should have never passed. That case alone right there told you how corrupt. So she's very familiar with this corrupt ass system. And when you get a hold of her, let me tell you something. Everybody's like, oh, well, you're going over here with a bunch of men. I ain't got to worry about it. I got all these women over here that'll fucking tear you fucking apart. You think I'm playing? And don't think they don't have backup. Oh, no. You think you come in? Oh, let me tell you something. And this is out of, you know how many MC clubs across the United States have already reached out and said, we got your back on this? Yeah, this is no fucking joke. The International Association for Recovering Kids across the United States, someone's reached out to us about that too. You need boots on the ground with armor, with anything you have, private contractors reaching out. You need us, come get us. Hey, keep bringing that stuff in, man. We love that. Why? Because we got people all over the U.S. that may need it. But here's the thing. Now you can't just take out me. Now you see the millions of people behind me is the point. Now we've made the noise. We've locked up your courts and it's done.
Did you see what 7-cylinder said, Gunner?
What's that?
See what 7-cylinder 94
Yep.
said?
Oh, I'm pumped up, man. Yeah, listen, guys.
He really is.
I know. Listen, and this is my ADHD, OCD, and the way my mind works, which is why it takes a special person.
You're the only person I know that could describe Nikola Tesla and understood Nikola Tesla and everything behind Nikola Tesla. And as soon as I caught that, I'm like, whoa. Okay, he's going somewhere, and he's somebody that's on my mind, my mind frame. So that's why I
am a licensed master electrician. So yeah, I know a few things, and I'm really good and really quick doing that.
Nikola Tesla.
Fuck around and find out what's 10 extra. Come get some. 0.
Yeah, sure.
0. I don't care. Come get some.
Yeah.
I remember your first video that you made that you published on Facebook.
Facebook or TikTok, because TikTok sure as hell. Everybody's like, hey, have you seen this on TikTok? And I'm over here. I'm like,
you were like, in a room and it was like all white in the background. was just you, and like it was like I don't know. It was a long freaking time ago. I could say
Yeah.
that.
Oh, we've
But I
been
remember
doing
the
this
first
for a while.
of
Listen,
the
this is nothing new for us. We've been in this fight for almost 3 years now.
well, and Darren too.
Yeah,
I mean,
Darren's about
Darren
that
went
same
from
time. I
with
know.
Vince Davis.
Yeah. I mean,
He
how
went
long you
on his
been in
own.
there? 5 years?
9 for me.
Oh my
Nice.
goodness.
Yeah.
This is how far back this goes, guys. We're telling you it does. And if you had a case even a decade old, listen, file the affidavit because it still qualifies. Even
Mhm.
if you've had a closed case, even 5 years ago, 10 years ago, and you had constitutional rights violations, put it in. Do you realize you can still sue? That's right. You can still sue those people because what? Deprivation of rights under the color of law. There's no statute of limitation. You could do it from 20 years ago, so long as you can go in court and prove it. And then the burden becomes upon the state to prove what they proved in a federal courtroom. Uh-oh. Game changer.
So, Florida mom, they should teach our rights and Constitution to our kids automatically in school or parenting skills.
Okay.
So, what good is that though if you're not teaching them to read and write in cursive? That's my question because the biggest thing that they need to learn is
Yeah.
cursive, and if they understand cursive, then they can read the
Well, they can't,
Constitution.
not only the Constitution, if you don't have a signature, you can't legally enter to any contract. You cannot print your
Right.
name. And if you put an X, that means you're indigent or independent. Therefore, the state needs to babysit you. You don't understand of what you're doing and they haven't taught you. This is why we are a proponent. All my kids went through public school. My kids, I asked them whether or not, nope, I can't do this, I can't do that. And one just graduated high school here in Blount County. You know, Blount County, where all the stuff with the teachers, and now that that's come out, there's one in Knoxville, there's one in Clinton. I mean, it's all coming out. Where's it at? Public school system. What's the thing that they say, Sharon, that those that want to be predators of children, what do? They force themselves into situations that have
They
what?
find ways to be around kids. They either become teachers or
There's
caseworkers or
daycare
daycare
providers.
providers or anything where bus drivers, anywhere that they can be around kids on a regular basis and they have easy access.
And
This
counselors
is
for kids.
why.
Yeah.
This is why we promote the homeschooling, unschooling method. Because no, your kids do not need to take and sit in front of a computer or anything else for 8 hours a day. You're looking at maybe 2 hours, 3 at the most on a screen time. The rest they learned from life because what? It's how it's applied. That's called common sense. You're going back to teaching your children when you do it this way.
Oh yeah. If you truly
Reason,
want to
enough of
protect
reason, the
them,
brain.
homeschool is a really good option.
And not the one your county school's doing. Let me make this clear. Find one where it's flexible, that you can do what you want to do without something from the state telling you this or this or that. And
If you're
here's
going through the public school, it's just the same thing. So
failure. This is what we're talking about, cultural genocide. They are taking your family's history, your roots, and this that you would be able to teach stuff to your kids, teach them how to do this, teach them how to do that. And people say, well, I can't. Well, then you needed to figure that out before you had children, because as soon as you have children, you now have a responsibility. And somebody needs to figure it out between the two of you. And I'm not saying man or woman. That's your job to figure it the fuck out. It's your responsibility. It's your child. You understand? There's the whole thing. The same way with divorce. You know how the state got involved with everything? We're going to do no fault divorces. You know how much money they made off of that? Don't work it out. Cut out for the thing. Why? It's just a contract. Now your kids are coming out. Why? Because it's an easier access to get to your children. Why? To destroy you. And what did they do with it? They did it with your food. They did it with public education. You realize how this is an overthrow of our country that is being that has been slowly happening, that is now coming through. Why? CVS for Indiana affidavit sent you on request. I don't think I got that one, Kathleen. You'll have to resend that. We're trying to work with some of those things to make sure that we are new. We may send up
For Family Forward, Connie Rigoli.
What's that?
Family Forward County you're going?
Yeah, that's what they're talking about.
Oh,
Oh.
Tammy's been at it for 30 years. She's been going through this for 30 years. Tammy,
yeah.
don't
I
give
did-
up.
No, Connie. I'm saying or Goalie.
Tammy.
Listen, guys, any information, we have a lot.
Oh.
We're going to set some of that up too. Hold on to your information unless you have see if you work for CPS and you have their training videos, something we may not have. That's kind of like where we have a ton of it. It's just, give us those videos, training manuals. If you're CPS and you want to flip,
It goes back way further.
protected witness. Listen, I have the
But
ability,
it goes back further than 6.
I have the ability to contact the U.S. Attorney's Office in this case, and if you're in that bad a shape, yes, I can have you put in witness protection. Absolutely, that is the power of this case. If that comes to that point, you reach out to us. I need federal. My life's in danger. Contact your local FBI and or this say you're part of the case and that you're requesting WITSEC. It's just that simple. To bypass us, go directly to the source, and they'll have to, and they'll have to investigate it, and that's exactly where it's going on.
Okay.
So, guys, there it is. There's everything that we have that we've put out there. You wanted the children home. You now have a way to get your children home. Those that have closed cases, serve your paperwork, demand your kids back because you're testifying against them for doing this and that. If you don't do that, do with a void ab initio, ask for, demand the return of your children because of it, and make them prove to a federal court. Because then when you're a federal witness, the only way they can get you off there is by disqualifying a federal witness, which means they're going to make you prove it. And your word is stronger than the state's. Why? Because it's about we the people. The burden then, like it should have been, is then upon the state to prove to a federal court. Good luck, especially when you have constitutional rights violations. You know what they'll tell you? That judge, that one judge we told you that we had, he's going to chew your ass on Constitution. You ought to look into the guy that we've got. He's a badass when it comes to the Constitution. Hey, Danielle's done the research. Come on, Danielle. Come on. I know you've done the research. Get off the mic and start running that mouth. Look, I get the goofy.
Yep, he's that's where like Naylor said, street justice. That's where that guy would come in. He's hardcore, and he ain't playing. He ain't playing with no, and he don't take that shit too lightly when you violate the Constitution.
No, and this was appointed by Trump himself, first term.
This guy is. They call. I forgot what his nickname is, but
for we the people, guys. This can't line up any perfect than what we've got. It's time to get the kids home. It's time to do this. It's time to hold them accountable. It's time to jack their courts up and let them and put them on notice across this nation. You will go no further. Demand we the people. And now our voice will be heard. Even if you're not used as a thing, you will put up, and because you have a sworn affidavit, on our witness list. Because you are a potential witness we could use or call at any given time. And yes, it is confirmed. Danielle, give them the rest of the news of who we talked that is signing affidavits.
Do I?
Who contacted you? She squirreled. Who's going to fill out the affidavit that is very well known that has just come on board with us? All the
who?
The Epstein victims.
That person. I mean, that whoever you're talking about.
Yeah.
I mean, I really.
That one.
Yeah.
Yes.
She's like me, so she might have told you something, Gunner.
I know.
She's not realizing the
What did I say?
We're going to forgive old Squirrel because she's still got a show after this to do the chat GP.
I understand where Danielle's coming from because she probably said something. She's not realizing like the complete wrong.
Are we talking about the E word? Epstein? Run it.
Witness. Are there
witnesses?
We have witnesses.
Yep. There are witnesses.
And witnesses in our case that have asked us.
And as a matter of fact, well, I'm not going to go into full detail, but they are and they are, really good. And
weren't some of those internationally trafficked?
Yep. You know, we got some P Diddy
Oh,
too.
we have witnesses and P Diddy's ones too on our case. Oh,
That'll be
Wait,
great
they're
with
a
the
whole
trial
little
going
group.
on right
Listen,
now.
they're a whole little group. They all know each other. Even Allie Carter, all of
Florida
them.
mom.
Alex Carter,
Be,
yes.
you'd be surprised. And what's sad is a lot of the kids that have been in these residential treatment facilities. It's just I hope that they weren't involved in the P Diddy or Epstein's thing because
Listen, the
there's
stuff
new
they're not
things
going to
coming
let
out
you
about my
hear and
son.
everything
So.
else, it's coming
Uh-oh.
out in our case because
Oh yeah,
what's going on the stand. It's what happened to us, and then
I,
showing those international witnesses,
mhm.
some of those other cases and stuff we found. Oh, guess what? They don't stand a chance. This is a
No,
we the
they
people
don't.
case. How many do you want me to call, Your Honor? Because they all say the same damn thing. Yes, the state of Tennessee is involved in a national child trafficking
Aaron.
ring of all 50 states.
There's
Hey,
Darren. Yo,
Darren, where you
yo,
at, Joe?
yay.
what's up? You want to come up?
Oh my gosh, that just made me so
One of us
happy.
can drop.
Come on.
Yeah, I'll drop off.
See you, Chris.
Send
Darren's
him
back.
the. Hold on. He can come on.
I don't know if he can get into the restream or not. It's delayed. It's very
Wait, I don't know how
delayed.
to.
I tried to do that last night for one of the shows to see what the delay time is. It's got a bad lag from YouTube and Facebook. Oh,
I
he's driving.
caught part of that Tim Tebow interview. That was wild.
Yes, they've been doing this since spring. Okay. It goes back to the beginning of after the orphanages when they started the foster system. I did that whole entire research.
You want to call him? He's driving.
If you guys want to know more about that, you can go to my YouTube page on the origin of CPS, and it does go through the history of CPS and how it was connected to the sanitariums. And then this is
Everybody's been asking.
The sanitariums turned into CPS. When they closed the sanitariums, those same sick fucks that were doing the shit they were doing that came out still had a job. Some of the top tier people, and they just now, instead of just a small sanitarium they have to deal with, they have the whole state and every county, and that's where they came from.
Time to rock these fuckers. Sorry, my bad.
It's on. So you guys want that? Get your sworn affidavits in. If it's got there, the system will kick it out. We will get you. We're working on that letter. Darren, as you can see, is back. He is on his way.
He's driving, Brenda.
When he gets back, let me tell you something. Get on, because we're going to get this thing drafted to send to the judges. And let me tell you something. It's not going to be a pleasant letter that you're going to deliver, because it's going to put them on notice. Game fucking over. Checkmate.
So are you, Darren. You're amazing too. I love ya.
Listen, we have a fabulous.
Said everybody's amazing.
We couldn't have done
with us.
without
We
you,
switched
Darren.
over here. We went to this network. We took it to the next level. We used more resources. Yes, and here's the other thing. Remember that federal attorney we told you about, that piece of shit that tried to bomb this case? Congratulations, Mr. Paul Davis out of Texas, June 6th person. You've just been called out, and you can see our case. We didn't use that piece of shit you said. Even had even had inaccuracies in it.
Hell yeah, we gonna fuck them up.
Attorney-client privilege, dude. Your federal shit's coming, and you've just been put on blast. Go ahead, threaten to sue me for this and that.
We're gonna fuck them up.
It's done. You tried to prevent.
I'm so excited, especially for Darren has been fighting.
Here's the thing we're going to ask now, though, guys.
Said, who do you deliver the letter to? Albie said.
Because this attorney did what he did, and he was in trouble with the Bar Association in Texas over the January 6th stuff. The question now arises for an investigation into a federal one on whether or not you made a backdoor deal with the Bar Association to better your license by tanking our case. Congratulations, dude. You're now infamous. Right along with Jeremy Crenshaw.
We love you too, Darren.
And Aaron Schad. And Jason Bedingfield. And what's the last one? Oh, yeah, Tammy Harrington. And
Go
to
ahead,
the
name them all,
officer
babe.
that's in there, the New Hope Child Advocacy Center, you're done. The officer that sat in there and watched his crimes happen to coerce into felony, you're done. Who entered that is as far as the state that issued that stuff, you're done. The sheriffs that didn't take and stand up for the people of the state of Tennessee, and the same thing's happening in all states, you're done. You violated your oath. The judges and magistrates, the evidence was in front of you, and we can prove it in a court of law. That's right. You're going down. Judges, magistrate, family. I don't give a shit if you're retired, if your name's on that list. You're going to be held accountable. Bottom line, we the
Are
people,
you on Messenger, Dad?
we the people case. Bam. So put that in your, what do they say, in your pipe and smoke it.
And
That's the whole
as
thing.
an aside, because
God.
I've seen a couple
Is that a Chicago
questions come
saying,
up
or is it?
throughout
Sure.
the evening, we are doubling up on our mental health shows. So we're gonna do
Yes.
another mental health show on Sunday night,
This
just
week,
so everybody knows.
Sunday.
And we'll address some of your questions about like how to handle when the kids come home and such. So just FYI for everybody out there.
It's, I believe Danielle put it in the comments, Carla Johnson. It's gunning for CPS. It's the number 4, gunning, GUNNING, the number 4, CPS at yahoo.com. That's where everybody is sending everything, their affidavits and stuff like that. Don't jack me up and jack us up with this. This is too important. Get those in, or if we ask for something else, we want the affidavits. Make sure it matches in the subject line, like we told you on our pinned post on our Facebook page, Gunning for CPS. Go on there. There's a thing on those that wish to help. It's a pinned thing, and it tells you what to put in the subject line and everything else. It's got further directions for it on how to email those sworn affidavits that are notarized to us. We'll keep track of that. I think it'll go through. We've got a couple things to go over as far as that sorted. But like I said, guys, we have been working diligently hard. It's great to have Chris getting onboarded here for a new show. Sharon's getting ready to take off on her stuff on a TikTok platform for healing and peace and how to bring those things back and create an environment for everybody. So listen, we gotta act like fucking Americans to where and show the world as well as our president we do not need to be overseen and we can govern ourselves. Take all this away. The reason we have drug abuse problems, family court. The reason we have alcoholism in a lot of places, family court. Why? Because it's destroying the families. And when we knock this shit off and we act like adults, you want to get divorced, great. Get divorced. It's real simple. Half of everything. What you had before the marriage, you got. Everything between there, half. That's just the way it is. Kids, half. Don't work
Children
it out.
are not pawns, people. Children are not pawns.
No. And that's disgusting. And whoever the lawyers are that
There's
took them,
parents.
turned around and told you to say or open a CPS case on your spouse because of this is that, unless it's a criminal act and you can prove it, then do it that way. But how dare you use your children or your family because your emotions work too much or you
You see what Darren said? Void fucking ab initio.
Void
See,
ab
it told
initio.
you. It does, and it
We
ties-
told,
it
yeah,
all
we told
ties
you
into
there. We
it.
will put it out there.
It does.
Void
You
ab
just gotta put the
initio.
pieces
Fill it out
together.
with your thing. Give it to the judge. Put it on file. You're done. It's over.
Yeah.
We're working.
It's
Listen,
just there's extra pieces that go with it, and we got it all
The reckoning.
together now.
the We the People case.
Yeah.
We are putting together a rally, a national rally. We're looking to put this together. We're going to confirm it with you guys. And we're going to advocate anything else, set up stuff in your own states, your own towns, everything else. Get those affidavits in. We have time. We're still in the early stages. We haven't even gone to mediation yet. We want to intimidate them. They're going to beg to settle, but we're going to say, no, we don't negotiate with domestic terrorists.
Yeah.
What you did to my family and all these families, we are holding you accountable. It's game over. There's none of this. And we're going to go to court and we're putting everything else on the court record. What the FBI doesn't, like I said, the FBI has already got a ton of it. We already turned that in. Yeah, Michael Biondo. Yeah, put it on press. Mike knows. Chris has talked to Mike. He knows what's up. Trust me, what's up. Blount County, Tennessee. I got your courthouse. I got everything. Your courthouse is unconstitutional with what happened in my case. That's right. Evidence was not allowed in the courtroom because of the court order of the no device policy in there. I do not need a judge's permission to bring evidence in. That is a constitutional violation of due process of everyone in Blount County that has ever walked through those doors for civil and criminal court. So congratulations, people. It's time to take back our country, and it's time to get back to the Constitution. Chris, we're looking forward to it.
And get our kid home.
What's that? Time to come home.
And get
Yeah,
our kid
guys,
home.
share the shit out of this video nationwide. This affects all 50 states. Keep it within there. Kick ass. All these others, you're going to watch people fade away that were other advocates or doing this or had some. You're going to see CPS plants drop away because they know it's over.
Mm-hmm.
They are now on blast when we do this, and this starts pouring into the courts and everything else.
Yes,
Yeah,
Darren, they absolutely can.
Georgia can kiss my ass.
I'm a rusty judge. Got you. Oh, he knows this shit, and they didn't do it. But guess what? He's got another case against them for what they tried to do to stop this motherfucking case.
Because then I tried to arrest the judge.
Because
I've
you
been
have
saying all along, George is one of the worst ones,
Here,
man.
if this is in place too, let me tell you something else constitutionally
sister's
that you
out
need
there.
to understand. If you have that in there and that is turned in, you also have the power of the citizen's arrest to arrest a judge, an officer, or anybody from the state representative or actor while you're a federal witness to intimidate you. You have the right of a citizen's arrest to detain them and call the FBI yourself. Congratulations. Welcome to the Constitution. It's here and we're done. Yes, the power of a citizen's arrest does exist. And yes, you can do that with the power you have. Have that paper on you. Get copies of it. Show it. You're under arrest for federally tampering with a witness. So yes.
Wait, so Gunnar, you want to address this question? So I've got a question. What if those of us, our children have been adopted illegally?
Shit. They all come home. Hence the word illegally, unconstitutionally. Therefore, it must revert by the constitutional law. It's just that simple. Don't talk about grandparents. If you got grandparents' rights to say, that's going to be a limited case. On some of those things, we need parents of this stuff. Grandparents, yes, we have rights in our case. Go through that chat bot that Danielle's got. She's going to follow up with the show. I think she's working on a few things real quick to get ready for the next show. Guys, it's been great having you guys. Thanks for being on here. Chris, we look forward to your new show and the onboarding. Brenda, thanks again for joining us. Yeah, you're onboarding. We're getting warmed up in the shows, and we're going to do a couple other things. So.
No, it's like I was on, then I was
on again, off again. Well, that's just Chris. That's Chris.
It happens all of us.
On again, off again, on again. That's just Chris. But listen, you've got to understand some ADAs too. One, I have a heart condition. I have 10% left of my heart. Yes, part of this process. I did have 45%. Yes, we will be charging these people involved with this with attempted murder. Chris is going through a bout with cancer. So keep this in mind as you're watching the shows through this. I know Darren deals with narcolepsy and some other medical conditions. So keep these in mind that these are the type of people that they targeted is those that are at their weakest and need their family the most. And that's how disgusting this is to tear somebody apart because it almost wants to kill. Okay, Darren says he's calling. I can send you the link if you want to link it on the back door if you want, Darren. Oh, he's driving?
He's driving.
Okay.
I think that's why he can't.
Yes, and because it's constitutional law, let me explain something too. It doesn't mean codes and statutes. It means you're under the Constitution. And what is the Constitution?
He's calling
the Constitution is common law. Oh, yeah, your statutes and codes don't apply at all. It's common law. He's calling into Brenda. Brenda seems to be getting the Darren call, I guess.
These statutes are not, dude, the policies and procedures after the Chevron deference. I don't understand why are they
okay,
still...
he's saying send in chat, so hold on.
I can.
Oh, yay! We get to see. his
Oh, does he
face.
want my number?
I'm going to send him the link in the
No,
chat.
he's saying, oh, send
This is for the
yeah.
show, and understand too, these things we do refresh them after every show. So part of our new show policy is making sure that the shared link is refreshed every single time, so nobody can get into some of our stuff. Just so you know, and that is something that Darren and I have talked about. We're going to make sure that that's done from the back end until people that do run their own shows. We're making sure we're refreshing that link. And FYI, Chris, I saw something about. Oh yeah, never mind. That's a personal thing. It's never mind. Y'all.
Thank
Okay,
you.
never mind. We got that. There it's Darren. Darren, man, get your butt in here, man. We want to see you, man. We're kicking ass.
Seriously.
I'm waiting for him to log in, man. I'm excited, man. Well, you don't understand. We've been checking out some stuff and everything else. It's like huge the amount of stuff that we've been doing and dealing with all this, stuff trying to stop us.
Yeah, but you know how many people we had to like cipher
Oh my
through
gosh,
and like
the
get
amount
to like
of
the main
CPS attacks we
group of
had,
people.
doing this, doing that. I mean,
All the
security.
holes that
That's why
came
we
through.
shut down for like a week, is to re-secure everything after everything that was going on.
Yeah, but
where's my
this is,
boy?
I
Wait,
mean,
I heard
this is
it.
the
I heard
beginning.
it. Here we go, the Punisher himself.
Yay!
Oh my God. And the man who did it all.
There he is.
What's up, motherfuckers?
What is up? Oh my
Back.
gosh.
We just revealed the power of the federal witness and the Federal Witness Protection Act by anybody that does an affidavit. And now they can tell the state court, especially with an active one, kiss my ass, give me my kids back, and do that void ab initio, file their change of jurisdiction from constitutional rights, which we've given them, and go after their case and shut it the hell down. Jack their state courts up. Shut them down.
Goddamn right. Run, motherfuckers, run. But what we need to do, we need to slap them all with that void ab initio all at the same time. Because here's the deal. We're going to slap them with that void ab initio, and they're going to try to come right back with some sort of a defense. But we need to get all the parents in line that want to get their fucking kids back, because the void ab initio does not have to be adjudicated. We just got to file it. We need everybody together to fucking do this on the same day, same time, and let's all go get our fucking kids, because they can't stop all of us. They can't stop all of us.
You file that void ab initio with your sworn affidavits in. We will give you that letter to say you're participating in a federal case and you are a federal witness. You have now taken away all of their jurisdiction and power, because they can no longer fuck with you, and them having your kids is a form of intimidation of a federal witness. Done. Right with the void ab initio.
Well, tell me where it says anywhere that they have the authorizations.
There you go.
Where is it? As a matter of fact, there's more stuff out there. There's more stuff out there that says don't touch our kids than there is that says do touch our kids. So someone is fucked up somewhere.
1935, section 1101, right there. We reviewed it on the Punisher show.
Yeah.
Says it right.
It says right there, no, don't touch the kids. But they don't listen. So whose fault is that?
Game over.
They need to be put on blast. You know what? We're done with talking. Nancy Schaefer's been dead for 15 fucking years, and we're all still saying the same shit. You know what? All of us are. We're action doers. We're going to get these motherfuckers. Every goddamn one of them. We're going to get them, and we're going to get our kids. And that's it, period. So, yeah, everybody, listen up. Listen to what's being said, because it's true. You just got to grow yourself a set of balls and go and do it. That's what this is all about. Grow your balls, get yourself mentally right, make sure that you're ready and prepared to have your kids back. That's what Sharon's here for, is to make sure, because that's a huge thing. You got to think, a lot of us haven't been parents physically or in a long time. So there's going to be a big change in your life, and you need to make sure that you're ready for that. Not saying that you're not, not saying that you don't love your kids, but you need to realize that. And I was with a family this past week that helped me out once I got out of jail from all that illegal bullshit. Oh, and all of you that wanted to talk shit, go fuck yourselves, because apparently I wouldn't be
The
out of
evidence
jail if
is
I got
coming.
hit with everything that I had. So you all can go fucking pound sand. You want to call out fake advocates? Look in the mirror, people that
Yeah.
called out on me.
Ooh.
So anyway, but listen, here's the thing. Everybody needs to get themselves some balls. Make sure that they're right in their homes and their minds, because it's very important. Make sure that it's right for you to do what you're doing.
Yeah.
Because you got to think, a lot of people their kids have been with that. And I'm not saying that you don't have rights to your kids at all. I'm not saying this by any stretch. But don't forget, some people, their kids have been gone for a long time.
Yeah.
So you're going to uproot those children too. And I'm not saying that it's not wrong that you do that, because they are your children. But you need to be physically and mentally prepared for what is about ready to happen. There's going to be anger. There's going to be overwhelming. There's going to be a lot of things. And that's why what Sharon is saying is very, very important. And what Chris is talking about, and what Brenda's talked about, and what Gunner's talked about. And I know Danielle's talked about it because she's lived it firsthand, but especially what Sharon's trying to do. You guys, you need to make sure that you're not just rushing into something, and that you're ready for this, because this is a big move. You're going back into being a parent. You're not going to be in the fighting mode anymore. You're in the parenting mode. And it's not, listen, unfortunately, you're not getting your child back. You're getting a broken child, one that the system is really fucked up. And it's not going to be easy for you, because they're going to call on you as a parent to be, what's the word I'm looking for? Be responsible for what's happened to them, even though it's not your fault. So you need to listen to what Sharon says and how she tells you, because you're going to be asked questions you don't know how to answer. And you got one shot to answer these things right. I know all of you are good parents, because you know what? Bad parents haven't been sticking in this fight this long. They haven't been sticking with us or any of that. All I'm saying is to all of you, is when this stuff happens, it's going to be fast, it's going to be quick, and it's going to be right. But you just need to be prepared mentally for what's about ready to happen to you, and how your kids are going to react to you is very, very important, guys.
And have a
It's time to start to learn how to love and open your heart again for your family, which has been torn apart. It's time to repair that part and make a home again. It's time to repair that. It's time to establish that love, that caring. Take that time, be patient with that child. You've gone through stuff, and explain that to the child. I went through things too, but not out of anger. Come with compassion, come with love, and
If
let that
you
lead the whole way. Keep your
right,
fight towards CPS. Take the love towards your family and children.
right, like Dr. Death is saying right there. You know what? A lot of your kids are in good places right now. So maybe it would behoove you to work yourselves into a relationship with them in that foster family.
Yeah.
I know it's your
We were
kids.
just talking
You do
about
whatever
that. Yeah.
you do whatever you want to do. It's your kid. But
Yeah.
just remember, don't do to them what CPS did to them. You know, like if they're in a good spot, you need to work yourself slowly into this. Am I right, Sharon? Like how do you deal with this? Like, this is very important.
You're
How
not
this is
wrong.
dealt with, right?
It's going to take a lot of patience. It's going to be extremely difficult, but you got to do what's best for your kids in the long run, even if it hurts you. And that's why we're all still here, right?
Mhm. No, absolutely. And I'm not saying this to be a Betty Downer, because we're going to get our fucking kids. That's what we're doing.
Yeah.
But we all just need to be. We all need to have the tools to make sure that we're doing it right. because you know what
listen,
CPS did is
not all of
wrong.
us were given those tools, and some of us are blindsided on how to heal. That's why getting with Sharon and following up with her series that she's going to do, that's why it's so important. It's an option for you, okay? And a lot of you probably don't you probably distrust the psychological community because a lot of them put your children and you in this particular position. You don't need to take and have somebody tell you
I
some of that.
distrust them too, so it's fine.
You got a
You're
big
in
echo.
good hands there.
What?
Gunner, you got a big echo going on.
I don't know what's going on. But
It
as
might be
far as
me.
the
Hold on, let
general
me turn this
community,
radio down. Hold on.
the
Is it
page,
me?
in other words, the people, there's a lot of that out there where you don't. Sharon's intent with this is she is not charging anything. She's not doing anything. She is merely educating you. She is not practicing without a license. She is sharing the education and the experience she has as a firsthand person, which is 100% legal. Let me make sure that that is abundantly clear. She will have guests. She will work on that. We're going to work on a lot of that, but we've got to get together first, and we got to repair some of that stuff too. Then we're going to strengthen those things as we go along. And this show is going to take you step by step as we go through stuff, what we found out, what we more exposed. Matter of fact, Darren, I don't know if you caught it, but Chris has now got the silver bullet.
No, I've been in jail for a little bit, so I missed some stuff.
She just revealed on this show she just busted the door open for international trafficking by companies. She's got the names of the companies now. So it's
what's going on?
Bigger.
What's going on with the Bring Back Brenda show? What's going on with that?
It's going. It's going. I had a show earlier today. Yes, I did. And
good.
Back again tomorrow. I've been doing 9 p.m. just like we did before you left. Wednesday through Friday.
You guys are fucking awesome. You guys, everybody that watches, everybody that listens, everybody that's done this. Chris, thank you for stepping up and being in on this. You know what? I was gone. I didn't have to say nothing. Danielle was the only one that knew what I was doing and where I went. And all fucking believed in her and believed in what she said and knew that everything was right. It was awesome. Thank you all so much. Because like I've said, that station run just fine without me, right? Because it's ours. It's not mine. It's everybody's. So everybody knew what the fuck to do when I was gone. Everybody did it. And that's awesome.
Yeah,
and that's
you know what?
it.
We did it for you, though.
Well, I appreciate that.
You started this, Darren. You did.
And Darren, when you get back, guess who you got to onboard? Chris.
Who's
Chris
that?
is wanting our own show. We're ready to do it. Chris.
Oh, that's good. Well, I got some gifts for Sharon. I've got some gifts for Sharon to work with. And Chris, I'm excited to hear what you've got going on. I've missed Brenda's show, so that sucks because I really love Brenda's show. But Mary says it's been pretty good, so Mary's a huge fan. Gunner, you've obviously been ripping shit up. But no, all of you guys, to Obsidian, to everybody that's in this, everybody here is awesome. And you know what? The fact that everybody stuck around and listened, to what they allegedly said I did or had or whatever. Well, I'll tell you this: if I had what they said I had, my ass isn't driving home right now. I'll tell you that now.
It would have been fed.
You know what I mean? So,
matter of fact, we've got some leads on some of that stuff that they posted up. There is some belief in research that picture that was put out there was a previous picture that Danielle, I believe, found from another case that they used that to promote it. So we've got some of that for you
there
to
was
investigate too.
They had 9 cops on me when I got pulled over. 9 cops immediately when I got stopped.
And how did they hold on, Darren, let's address this. How did they address you? Not by your first name, but they called you
we have the Punisher, they said. Exactly what they said.
Punished.
Bam!
Good.
About this stuff.
Yeah, I know. I put purpose. Good work. Good luck.
I know, that's hilarious.
Yeah.
I just saw that.
definitely did.
Oh my God.
Awesome.
I'll tell you what's funny though is they had left me in there for like 3 days. In there for 3 days in the hole before. They're all different down there, and it was the thing. I had all the strength that I could to tell the sheriff. I said, "Sheriff," because they denied my bail. They gave me driving without a license and then a $25,000 bail for speeding. Then they denied my bail on all the other counts. And then I looked at the sheriff and I said, "You know what your job is, sir?" And he goes, "I know what my job is." I said, "Then you arrest this woman." Here's the funny thing is, I know this woman's name was Hadley or Hardley or some bullshit like that. And they say now that there was no woman by that name or that existed at all. But anyway, I told the sheriff, I said, "It's your job. You arrest this lady right now because it's unconstitutional for all of us in here to be held without bail. And this woman is holding us without bail. So arrest us." So they put me in contempt, threw me back in the hole. I was there for another 8 days. Wasn't pleasant. We'll get those bastards plenty. But come to find out, a year and a half ago, we were exposing that county pretty hard because they're one of the worst defects counties in the state of Georgia.
Georgia.
So they don't like that so much. But all of you
But
sheriffs out there,
remember, guys, when we exposed that about the show about the sheriff's deputy being in the courtroom, what his responsibility is? Darren was telling you he called him out to do his oath and duty because of unconstitutional there. That deputy then had a right and a obligation to take that judge into custody because of what he called her out for. And it failed to do that.
so he should be fired too. Here's even better. This woman that was the judge didn't even have the authority to bail out anybody that had felony charges. So why is this woman even sitting on the bench for a bunch of people that were sitting there waiting on felony charges? Here's even a better one that they have down here. They have what they call, not only do they have discrimination and domestic violence, now they have down here in this county that you did it in front of your child, and that is also a felony. So if you do any sort of domestic act in front of the child, they now are counting it as a felony against you in this county. Yeah. Pretty crooked.
It's a secondary charge, though, but you have to be convicted of the first one.
But it's a felony. But it's a felony. It's a felony. So,
but they go hand.
Here's the thing. Don't forget, people.
Last summer, remember when I was setting out, I said, "Hey, everybody, we're riling up. Everybody want to go to DC and all that." All of a sudden, I'm arrested for a gun on my floorboard that I never had. So they put me in jail for 34 days. The same
They're
jail.
framing people. We're telling you.
They just came to me. They tried to get me, but
they didn't give me a bond. Was my point? They didn't give me a bond either. But yeah.
That's illegal.
The judge throws me in.
Yeah.
That's illegal. It says right in the Constitution.
I don't give a shit.
Chris never had a bond. Not at all. Chris never had a plea deal either.
See, we need enough talking, guys. All action from now on. We are moving forward. This is
file move.
It's not CPS breaking news. It's CPS acting news.
Guys,
there you go.
Right. And we've all been retaliated against. That's what we're trying to get through. So don't let that scare you. We're all doing this together. We're all going to do it at the same time. We're all going to do this together. We've gotten retaliated.
Listen.
Look at Darren, what he just went through. I mean, don't let it scare you. It's not going to kill you.
Oh, it might.
Kids back. That's your life. Like, no.
Yeah.
Not as bad as losing your kids. Not as bad
that's
as
right.
losing your kids. Losing your kids will kill you.
A very well-known president said this: if some among you fear taking a stand because you're afraid of reprisals from customers, clients, or even the government, recognize that you are just feeding the crocodile, hoping he'll eat you last. Ronald Reagan.
Don't forget,
But Ronald Reagan.
don't forget that the Constitution states that not only is it your right to report that the government is acting in such a manner in tyranny, but it is also your obligation
Duty.
to report
Duty and
the news
obligation,
about the
yes.
government being corrupt. It is your obligation as a citizen of the United States of America to make sure that you report like this
Yes.
bullshit that this fake ass judge here in this county that I was in came
I was
doing.
just talking about that the other day, Darren. I said,
And
I had
just
written-
and just so
Wait,
What,
we're
Brenda?
clear on the-
Go ahead, Brenda.
You're gonna have to tell me what
I
county.
was just saying the exact same thing the other day. If you see that there's a laws being broken, I don't have the words in front of me, but it's not only you're not only duty to report it, you're obligated to do so. Yeah.
Obligated, yeah.
Of course, I don't have
Now,
the words in front of me.
once you get on the witnessing, you get that sworn affidavit to us. Please understand it will say in this letter we're going to issue, no state has any jurisdiction over you while you are a federal witness. All 50 states. That's not a ticket. That's not, there's no power. Their jurisdiction's pulled. You can't.
Cody,
because
what's your question?
any form of intimidation. Give it to him, man.
Cody, what's your question, my man?
It's got a delay from the side, man, when it comes through. So keep that in mind. There's a hell of a delay from Facebook
Whoa.
or even.
You want to
the
talk
other.
about? All right, guys, I'm going to show you something. This is pretty disgusting. But Louis just said this. He says, my in-laws are after me again with the injections. They were giving me injections in this jail in my side. I don't know what they were giving me. I'm going to show you something.
It's,
Don't
for
think
Warren's,
anything badly of
viewers,
me,
Warren
please. I don't want any of you thinking anything awful. But let's just start. Look at my hand. These are
at his
blisters in my hand. Look at how swollen my hand is. Do you see this stuff?
They are experimenting on inmates and people coming through the jail, people. Congratulations. There's your evidence.
Watch this. This is awful. So if you are faint of the heart or the face or whatever
turn
you want
away
to call
for a
it, turn away for a second. Because as much as this hurts me, it's going to hurt you too. Check this out.
Guys, this is bad. Look at his leg.
Darren, look at
Look
the
at his
You
chat.
see this?
Look at that. Look at that infection. That staph. Yeah.
Whoa.
Now he was in the hole with rats.
Yep.
Or is that correct, Darren? So that means he's been
Yep.
exposed to lice and everything else from those rats in those jails that is causing those things. That is what inmates are doing. They say, well, that's fine. What about all the people now that are unjustly convicted or brought in with CPS cases and unconstitutional shit? How many people are even supposed to be in that jail? Or now we have the Punisher. Why? Why are they so after the Punisher? Because he's talking, exposing them.
Yeah, you're right, 7-cylinder. They claim to be
Mhm.
the tuberculosis test. That's what they do.
I had to
Everybody
go.
doing, yeah.
They were giving me shots in my side. I went to the urgent care. They gave me 3 shots in my stomach. Then I just went to urgent care again today because now all of a sudden my hand has started this stuff happening. And they said we have no freaking clue, and they want to put me in the hospital, but I'm just trying to get home, so I want to just go home. I'll deal with it there.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're experimenting with people in jail. People, there's no joke at all. But fuck them, they fucked with the wrong people.
That's
Game on.
So I'm pissed. Like I am pissed.
Told you.
What they've done, what they're doing to the people, what they've done to all of us, what they've done to us as parents, what they've done to everybody. And you know, it's time. This is the now time. No more sitting around and talking about case law. No more sitting around talking about this and that. It's time we start doing, guys. And we're gonna fucking do. That's
No
what I
more
have to say about
defense.
that.
No more fear. Time to play offense and hold them accountable, and let's tear this motherfucker to the ground.
Heather Bowman says her skin on her hands keep falling off. It's just like what's happening to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know it, baby. Let's go, Brandon. You know it all the time, baby. All the time. But guys,
and all of
let's
this,
just
guys,
stay
it's
focused.
falling in line with everything. Yeah, everything. RFK, the president, DOJ, FBI, all the stuff that they're uncovering. This is the other side of the case. We have the rest of the pieces. This is what they
I
want.
love
We
you,
know this is
Candace.
going
That's
on.
awesome.
This is here and there. Bam. So yeah, welcome to the reckoning, because now you're going to be held accountable. Game over. Check. Next move is check.
That looks like abscesses.
They're all
That's
interconnected.
that's
Every
terrible.
one of the systems is interconnected.
Yeah.
But wasn't Carrie injected with something?
Yeah, probably killed her. That's probably what killed her.
Yeah.
That's what I was told. She was injected with something in her stomach before
crazy.
she left the hospital.
Well, guys, we're coming up on the 2-hour mark. I know it's been a long show. There you go. Mafias. Staff car. I like that. Yeah. I know nothing.
There you go.
Anyway.
Me? I don't know.
Guys, it's been a great show. Darren, man, we are anxious to get you back. We're ready to kick ass. We've been just plowing the hell away as much as we can. Oh, look!
Cody is down there in the chat. He is saying something about. Sorry, y'all. I had to come.
Yeah. That's the one I asked him if he.
He said he had friends. He said he had friends who liked my brother. They were like his brother and sister. They had a boy and a girl that I treated like family, and DCF took them away because DCF said my sister was on a hard narcotic, but she wasn't. And I don't know if he's saying
a constitutional violation unless they can prove it in court. That's the whole point of these affidavits. Even if you've got your case closed, you're saying the Constitution was not followed, such as illegal search and seizure. Did you get a warrant to do a drug test? Did it do this? Who took the drug test? No, CPS is not certified to take and collect medical stuff. That is for to be done by a separate one. They've already shown the exposure of how those drug tests were tainted or worked with. I mean, it's all over. I mean, just look around. But yeah, that's exactly what we're talking about. If you can't prove it and they say, well, we did that, but we broke your constitutional rights, like illegally entering your home, illegally questioning you on your own private property. Yeah, that's a Fourth Amendment violation of seizure.
What can
if you didn't have a jury?
There's his question.
It's all in the AI chat that has been programmed by Danielle. That will pull up everything through there. Just talk to it. It's a beautiful thing, and we beat the hell out of it.
I tried to make it as easy as possible. Like it is.
Cody, get in touch with who do you want to get in touch with? Danielle, who do you want Cody to get in touch with so we can do one-on-one with him?
They're in Florida because he's saying Polk County. Is that Florida, right?
He's in Florida? Hit that email up. See that email, Cody? Hit me up. Message me. And I got you.
Okay. Guys, we're going to wrap this up because Danielle's going to follow up with the show. Darren, if you can, Danielle, I know, well, maybe she's got to go to bed. Probably.
Do you guys, do one of you have my number? Because I don't know what the hell it is.
No, we don't. I was supposed to get a call back from, they said they would call me back in an hour, but it's not the same number.
Say again?
Here. Can you see the back room chat?
No, he can't. Yes, he can.
Oh, can I?
Aren't you in the live right now?
Yeah.
Can you see the private chat?
My number's in there.
Yeah.
I cannot see the back room chat.
I put mine.
Maybe I should be able to hear. Boy, I look good still, though, for being in jail.
I was going to say.
Fresh from the fight, baby. Kick some ass.
That's right, baby. We still fighting and we still look good doing it.
You got it.
Still fighting.
Is that it? The 770?
That's my number. Yeah, that's my number. Yeah.
All right.
379-4480. And if anybody wants to call.
After this.
Well, hey, Danielle's got my number, so it just goes
Yeah.
around. I think she's got Sharon's. And
Yeah, that was a
we
good
can all
talk
get it. I've
today
got it.
too, Gunner. Over there with the conversation we had. That was
Did
pretty
you
interesting.
did you get that stuff I sent to Mary?
I sure did.
Did y'all see? Well,
You're welcome.
somebody.
I
Did y'all
sure
see the chat
did.
earlier?
Good. Well, guys, it's been great. Darren, it's great to have you back in the fight. Guys, thanks for joining us
How
tonight.
can I?
We're gonna take and start to dip out of here
Y'all
just a little bit.
be on the lookout for. I will get on and explain it better. Okay, I will let y'all know how to start it and how to get it going.
We have
Okay.
it all written up. We got it all written up. You just need to follow
In
the
other words,
directions, baby.
CPS Breaking News Network. Go like and
It's
follow
easy.
there. Go to Gunning for CPS channel. Go
Mhm.
like and follow there. You can get all the shows, including Danielle's shows, and when she goes on and notifications on there. Watch for that out there. We're
I'm on
gonna
unmasking
broadcast
false
through
character
our
eruption.
channels. Yeah, guys, this is the way to go.
I see you,
We
Cody.
now have the weapons. We now
My
have
favorite,
the
bringing
do
back
what it
Brenda.
is. It's time for we
Bringing
the people
back
to
Brenda.
rise.
All
Bring me back
right.
Brenda, all of it. Chris has got a new show
Mr.
coming.
Obsidian,
He's getting ready to go.
we're
There
fucking
we go.
coming.
Obsidian's
We are
going.
fucking
Be-
coming,
Full
CPS.
blast. We're done.
Yeah, be on the lookout. Okay,
Game
everybody on the
over.
show, be on the lookout for another show with. If y'all are coming in late, this chatbot thing, we can't. I don't want to keep everybody on forever. If y'all are coming in late, y'all are gonna have to wait for the other
We got
show.
a
Okay.
chat bot. Yeah, we got a chat bot done to help you with your affidavits.
I don't want to be
help you
mean,
with
and
this.
I just,
If not, go to my channel on YouTube, Gunning for CPS. You can like and share from there. The video is saved. It's in there. Share this across the country. Give it to anybody dealing with CPS. Let's shut this thing down and show them what the power of the Constitution and we the people. And
You
the
fuck
state.
yeah. Let's go, Brandon. Fuck you, CPS.
Hoorah!
Play the music. Let's get out of here.
Let's get the hell out of here. Have a great night.
bye everybody.
In the United States, CPS makes upwards of $3 billion per day on trafficking and selling our children. The corruption may start with the caseworker, but goes through the judicial system, passing the governor through the Senate and into the White House. The entire system has a hand in the business known as CPS.
Our children are stolen every minute of a 24-hour day. They are being robbed of their innocence, their trust, their happiness. As parents, we are isolated and betrayed by a government we trust. States are balancing budgets on kids' lives. Only 12% of the kids taken will be reunified. Title IV funding is being riveted with fraud.
We need to stop CPS and abolish CPS.com is leading the way. Join us.